Hello, I'm Foul Play Gaming and welcome to another Achroma card game video. Again, this is a very special one as we are continuing on from the last video and having a look at some first games of the brand new realm to Achroma, Warriors of Wishwell. Now, as always, if you want to pick up this realm, you can check out the link down below. It comes out on the 28th of October, which is in a few days of when I'm recording this video. In the last video, which you can see linked up there, we had a look at two of the decks. We had a look at Chieftain Snore versus Chiefess Astrid. Today, we are looking at the next two decks, which is another Holder Troll deck, which is Gisle, if I'm saying that correctly, versus one of the Trader decks, otherwise known as the Jotun Trolls, which deck today is Torstein the Mighty. If you enjoy the video, make sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps the YouTube algorithm, and let me know down in the comments how you think these decks play out. But let's get into it and watch the game.
Okay, so it says for me to go first. Let's draw our cards and get started. All right, so as it's a two-player game, I do not get to draw or trade, so I'll go straight into it. Yeah, so I'm going to start my turn. It's a bit of an interesting one. I'm going to start my turn by playing Shield Maiden, Lacringi Shield Maiden for 2. So she has Shield Wall 1, which if you've watched the previous video, you've seen that what that means is when she gets attacked, she has 1 extra strength, so she would be 3 when being attacked. So I'll start off with her. And I'll also, for 4, I'm going to play Lacringi Forge. Very, very cool looking card. We've seen this in the last video too. This allows me to find an object of power. So I'm going to go through my deck and find an object of power. I'll be honest, there aren't actually that many objects in this. The card I've just found is one of the Orium drills. And I'll be honest, there isn't actually that many yet. There isn't that many objects of power actually in this deck, actually. 1 shard to play that object of power onto the Shield Maiden just to make her a little bit more powerful. I'll then go to my resolve step, which is to gain 4 back, brings me nicely up to 7. I will draw, and I will end my turn.
All right, well, I'm going to draw to start my turn because I've gone second. So what I think about these two decks, I'm pretty sure that these are both gaining.
So they're both Achroma decks. So both the deck that Ria's playing, if I recall correctly, the creators are calling it trader decks. There's a lot of cards in there which allow you to do lots of extra trading or stop me from trading. And so they're called trader decks and they are Achroma. So yes, in this realm of the 6 decks, there are only 2 decks that are Achroma. 2 decks that are very much Achroma are the Lacringi, which we've obviously seen 1 yesterday and we're going through 1 today. And then the trader decks are very much Achroma, but they also are the type of decks where they have a lot of blocking as well.
Yeah.
I'm
going to play Trader's Pass for 2.
So Trader's Pass is once during your turn, you may trade, and whenever you trade, you immediately gain +1. So that means that effectively, you can trade 3 times on your turn. You could trade at the start of your turn, any point using that, and at the end as well.
Yes. I'm going to play Cave Salamander as well for 2.
Yep.
He's a common feature, and he just gives me a +1 in the resolve.
Yep,
Super
fair play.
cute. You know what? I'm going to use that trade here from Trader's Pass, and I'm going to trade the Lacringi Way.
Yep.
Which is an uncommon action. I used it in the previous game.
Yeah, because obviously you're aware that I haven't got much Achroma in this game, so there's not really much point in having it. Fair play.
So I trade it, which means that I get the shards of it.
The 3,
1, 2, 3. And because I traded it using this, I immediately get an extra 1.
And that's during your deploy phase, right? So that isn't even like your draw or trade at the start and end. That is your trade from the game.
Yes, that is the trade that I get from Trader's Pass.
So
every time I use one of those, I'm going to be stating that it's from that card.
Yep.
And then I'm going to deploy another Trader's Pass.
Very cool.
For another 2. Then move on to my resolve. So I don't actually get very much for this bit. I just get a 1 from the Cave Salamander.
Yep.
What I am going to do though is I'm going to...
I'd say, so just to be very clear, she's drawn for her draw/trade step at the end.
Yes.
But because she's got this second Trader's Pass, if she wants to, she can trade again this turn.
Yes.
Effectively, she can draw or trade at the start and end of a turn and do an extra 2 trades if she wants to. And every time she trades, she could trade 4 cards on the next turn and get all of the shards, plus each time you trade, you'd basically be gaining, wow. So next turn, you could trade 4 cards, get all of the shards from those 4 cards, and you'd be gaining an extra 8 shards because it'd be 2 shards per card you trade. So you could gain 8. Wow, that's a lot of trading. I can see this trading deck being like second or third turn. I mean, admittedly, that's very lucky you had both of those in your first couple of hands. But that could be crazy.
Yeah. And to be honest, I'm actually not going to do the other trade that would come from this one. I'm just going to end my turn.
Okay. So I'll start my turn by... Oh, actually, do I want to... You know what? I'm going to risk it for Chocolate Biscuit. I'm going to draw. I want to get another card. Okay, actually, that's not bad. In my attack phase, I am not going to attack this turn.
Yay!
Not
he
yet.
Lives.
I'm going to play a second Lacringi Forge for 4.
Lacringi.
Which allows me to find an object of power. The one that I'm going to pull out, because I'm pretty certain it's one of my only other ones in here. Funnily enough, it was actually the next card to be drawn, but it is Lacringi Catapult. So I'm then going to go to my Resolve. So I'm going to gain 2, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to play an action of Imbued in the Forges
nice.
For 4. Which I can deploy an object of power for free, and then I gain +2 for each object of power on my canvas. So I'm going to give the Shield Magen a Lacringi Catapult. Now, firstly, the Catapult has an action, which is drain 2 shards from any card. I'm going to drain it from your Trader's Pass, just so that you're not getting so much from your trading.
Bye.
And then I get +2 back for each object of power I have. So I have 2, so I'm going to gain 4 back. So basically that card just paid, Imbued in the Forges just paid for itself.
Now, did you do that within your resolve step?
No.
Did you do that at the
that
end
was
of
after
your
my
resolve
That was after
step?
my resolve step.
You could technically say that you played that in your resolve, because you can play an action at any point.
Oh yeah,
you?
so I guess I could play it in my resolve and then get the +1 for the extra action. Yeah, sure. So just to be very clear, so I resolved, because you resolve 1 card at a time, don't you? Let's say that I resolved those 4, then played that, then resolved that one. So yeah, I guess that makes sense, yeah. So I'll then go to my draw trade step, which I'm going to draw, and yeah, I will end my turn there.
Okie I'm going to draw. I'm not going to attack because there ain't no point. I'm only a little tiny lizard. To be honest, I'm not going to deploy. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go straight to my resolve, and I get +1.
Yep.
I'm going to draw, and I'm now going to do the trade that comes with Trader's Pass.
Yep.
And I'm going to trade a Velvet Worm, because just a cute little...
Yeah, 2 cost, 2 block, which I guess,
Yeah,
considering that you're not
exactly.
if you're going against an Achroma deck, that'd be a brilliant card to play, but otherwise, I guess not great.
Yeah, exactly. So because I traded it, I gain 2, and I also get 1 from my Trader's Pass because of that. I already drew my card. I did that trade at the very end, so it is now your turn.
Cool. So I'll start my turn by drawing a card. In my attack phase, I will attack and kill your Cave Salamander, so that will get rid of the... actually, I can... Yeah, I'll get rid of the Catapult. It doesn't really make a difference. I'll get rid of the Catapult. Actually, no, it does make a difference. So again, just to be very clear for those that are maybe relatively new to Achroma, when a character has multiple objects of power, I can choose where the damage returned goes first. So where this Cave Salamander does 2 damage, so obviously if I choose Catapult, well, the Catapult has 2, that has 2, so these 2 would cancel each other out. If I choose the Drill to get destroyed, then this will get destroyed, and then 1 damage carries over to the Catapult, keeping it alive, which means that even though it means my Catapult is the one that survives, but that's better because at the end of my turn, the Catapult revives back to full, so I'm actually still going to have overall a better character. So yes, I will go with that.
Sounds good.
In my deployment phase, I will play for 3. I'm going to play Lacringi Cliff Dwelling, which is the one cost 3. And as an action, I get to find a Huddler Troll with a shard value of 4 or less. So in these Lacringi decks, there's lots of cards that allow you to find and dig. It's quite nice, actually.
I think in the last game, I had to reshuffle, because obviously you shuffle your palette again after you've found your card. I think I probably did that like 4 or 5 times in our last game.
Yeah. I was going to go for this, but actually I'm going to go for this. Sorry, I will actually show you in a moment once I've actually... Okay, so that's a quick little shuffle. So the card that I picked out was Civ.
Oh.
Civ of Lacringi. So she costs 4, so it says 4 or less, so I was allowed to get her out. She's Shield Wall 2, and I get to gain based on how many Shield Wall I have on my canvas. So I can play 2 more cards this turn, and I am going to play her down for 4. And I'm also going to play a second Lacringi Shield Maiden for 2. So now, effectively, I have 4 Shield Wall, which means that any of my characters you attack give an extra 4 damage back, which is going to be very hard for you to attack and kill these guys. But it also means in my Resolve, I'm going to get a bit more. So I will go to my Resolve now. So we'll start with all the, I like to call them the natural gains, like nat gains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Quite healthy. And then I gain an extra 1 for each Shield Wall I have. I currently have 4 Shield Wall. So that brings me nicely back up to 13, which is actually where you are as well. And you know what? How many cards have I played this? I have played 3 this time, so I can't play another card. That's fine. So I will draw, and I will end my turn there.
Okay, well, to start off with, I'm going to draw. So it's something that I want to quickly check with this card. Once during your turn, you may trade. Whenever you trade, immediately gain +1. Does that count for me drawing, trading at the very start of my turn and trading at the very end?
Yeah, so that's why I said earlier that you could, when you had both of them out, you could have traded once at the start of your turn, once at the end of your turn, another 2 times anyway, and every single time you would have traded, you would have gained 2. So yes, so if you in your initial draw trade step, if you now trade, you gain +1, regardless of whether it was the one you did for that card.
Okay.
So effectively, with 1 card out, you could trade 3 times this turn. Once at the start, once for that card, once at the end. You would gain 3 shards, plus all of the shards from the trading.
Okay. Alright, well, I can't attack. So I'll move straight into my deploy. Going to deploy Wishwell Storehole, which will cost me 3. Is an uncommon location. And I get to choose a player. I wonder who that'll be. When this card is deployed, I can choose myself if I want to, but I am going to be choosing Charlie. Whenever you draw a card, I immediately gain 1 shard.
Very nice, yeah.
I am then going to deploy another location called Fishing Dock. It is a common location that costs me 2. Yes,
it is 3.
Oh, 3?
Yeah, 3.
Oh, it's 2 dark blue. That's it. Okay.
And once per turn, you can look at the 2 cards at the top of your palette. You then get to trade one of them, and you have to put the other one at the bottom of your palette. So it's obviously you may, Or actually, it says once per turn. Look at the top. Yeah, I mean once per turns are always optional, aren't they?
Yep.
Well, no, actually, I don't know. Maybe I might have to check with the devs. So because some cards say once per turn you may. This says once per turn.
Look at the top 2 cards.
So,
I think it's an obligatory thing.
Let's play it in this game as it is obligatory, but I will check with the devs.
Yep, that is absolutely fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to look at the top 2 cards of my palette. All right. Do I need to show you what I'm trading and what I'm putting under the palette, or is that something that I can do as secretly?
Obviously, I'd have to see what you trade. I don't have to see what you put in the palette as long as it is as long as it is definitely the card that you pulled and not a card from your hand, which I can see that. Yeah, you don't have to show me which card you put down, no.
Okay, well, I'm going to put that one into my palette at the very bottom. And I will be trading the action Unfair Trade. Each other player must trade, you gain the shards instead.
Interesting.
But I am trading that for 3. 1, 2, 3. And because I traded, I get an extra 1, which is really nice.
Very cool. So you got 2 more cards you can play. Sorry, one more card you can play this turn, yeah?
Yes, indeed. I don't believe I've done that trade yet.
No, you have not. You have not done a trade, so if you want to do a further trade, you can.
Well, I'm going to trade, thanks to Trader's Pass, my Velvet 1.
So that's going to give you 3.
That'll give me 3. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to just go into the Resolve, which is nothing. I just have 1 block, but that's not really going to.
It's because most of these cards give you shards in things happening, which is it's a fun little mechanic. It's very different.
Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to trade the action Icy Waters.
Yep.
And that will give me 3 as well. 1, 2, 3.
Very nice.
And then that ends my... No, I'm going to do it. I'm also going to play an action. This is the very last thing I can do in my turn. It costs me 3.
3.
1, 2, 3. Called Falling Stalactite. Erase a character with a shard value of 4 or more. I'm going to be erasing Civ.
Yeah, fair play.
Yes, indeed.
It's a great way of getting rid of like a high value character. Well done.
Yes, especially when I don't have any characters out to do
of
anything
course.
with that. So yes, your turn now.
All right, so I will start by drawing, which does mean that you get to draw 1.
I get a shard.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. I might have a bit of a chilled turn, to be honest. Well, then again, I got to be careful because, then again, so you are getting quite close to winning by trading, but then again, you've got no cards in your hand right now. So even if you draw 2 cards, trade 2 cards, the maximum you're really getting is just 2 cards worth of trading, and that's if you don't want to play anything else. So I am going to obviously not attack. I'll be honest, I've got some really good cards in my hand, but I feel like they're going to be more powerful if I wait a little bit longer. So I'm just going to chill, go straight to my resolve step and gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is still very nice.
Yes, indeed.
So I'm going to draw, which does mean that you gain another shard. And then I will end my turn.
Okie dokie. I'm going to draw. Okay, I'm going to play this action, Unfair Trade, which is actually what I traded earlier. So that will cost me 3.
Yep, so you array... I'm
Each
forced to
other
trade.
player must trade. You gain the shards instead.
You can have a cave snail.
Nice, I get 1. Alright then, so then that goes over there. I don't have anything else in my hand.
Because every time you trade... Oh, wait, no, that's not you trading, that's me trading, so you don't get the...
Yeah. So, although once per turn, I get to look at the top 2 of cards of my palette.
Yeah, and trade 1, put the other down underneath.
But I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to do Resolve, which I don't get anything from.
Yep.
What I am going to do is I'm going to draw.
Yep.
Okay.
So just to be very clear, you're now at the end part of your turn.
Yes.
You have the choice to trade,
Yes.
and you also have the choice to do this.
Yes.
Well, you have to do that, apparently.
So I am going to do the fishing dock. So I will look at the top 2 cards and take a look at them. So that's going to go at the bottom. Just going to pop that there. And what I'm going to do is, this is the card that I drew, Giant Centipede. It is an uncommon creature.
Yeah, it's a very, very cool creature.
Yep. It would have been, you cannot deploy characters whilst Giant Centipede is on your canvas.
Yep.
It would have been a +3 in Resolve, but it's 4 shards, so I am trading it for 5 shards effectively because of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then
the last thing is basically the only other thing you can do is you can play the card that's in your hand. Oh wait, is that that you have put one underneath, haven't you?
Yes, I have already.
So basically your choice is play the card in your hand. If it's an action, you can trade it if you want to, or you can end your turn.
I'm actually going to trade it. So it's another fishing dock.
Yep.
So I will get 4 shards back from that.
Very nice.
So I'm now on 23, but I think that Charlie, you might have this in
potentially,
this
yeah. And it is interesting how like that trader deck is being played though, because again, you guys watching the recording, you can't see Ria's hand, but like most of these turns, she's been ending with no cards in her hand. The way the trader deck appears to work, that you're always double drawing, but then using cards like these to do the trading. So you're gaining quite a few shards every turn just by kind of throwing away cards. Interesting. But it would be interesting to see a control. Obviously, this deck that I'm playing, it doesn't appear to be very much of a control deck. Like if I had been able to get rid of this and potentially this quite earlier on, you'd then be in a situation where you've now got no cards in hand, no cards to play. So it's a bit of a risk reward. Anyway, I will start by I'm going to start by drawing, which means you do get a shard.
Let's go.
Let's go. This is such a shame. So right. I'm just going to be completely honest. I am going to win here because I will be able to kind of resolve and trade. But let me show you why I'm a bit disappointed. So you got rid of my 1 extra huddler troll? The Civ, yeah? Because earlier on, if you hadn't got rid of Civ on that turn, I was going to play this combo. So I was going to play Lakringi Huddler Totem, which is a location which gives me... It gains based on the number of maidens that I have. The Kringis I have.
Maidens?
So, maidens. So if I'd have played that earlier, that would have paid for itself because of the 3. And then I was also going to play Lakringi Totem Worship, which is the one which means that I would gain normally 2 for each troll, but I would gain 3 because I had 3 earlier. So that would have given me 9.
Yeah.
And not going to lie, between the last 2 cards I picked up I had the same 2 again. So if I had another Huddler Troll out, because whilst I've only got 2 trolls out, these 2 would kind of, they wouldn't pay for themselves by doing that. It wouldn't really be worth it. So it's interesting that I've got both of those. So I'm literally just going to go straight to my resolve, which is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which brings me right up to 29. And it's very unsurprising that I've got 6 cards in my hand, so I will trade one of them. The one I actually picked up last turn that I was tempted to use was I did have my Huddler Tail Whip, which is to which is to erase a character and location from any canvas, gain the shards from one of them. I was thinking last turn, even though it would be a bit of loss of shards, do I use it just to kind of cancel out one of your cages? But I thought, you know what, it's better just to trade it. So there we go, trade that, boom. So there we go. So interesting that so far from 2 games, both of the Kringis have won. Anyway, very, very good. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this game of the Huddler Trolls versus the Trader deck. If you subscribe, then tomorrow's video will be the last 2 decks to be seen played, which is going to be the Norso Totem deck versus the Solveig, which is from the Samir Trolls. And also check the link down in the description if you want to look to buy Warriors of Wishwell yourself. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much to Carry Away with None for playing this game with me. I've been Foul Play Gaming. Stay wholesome. See you in the next one.